Moto Maddox here. Another installation. I'm gonna do a quick upgrade, adding factory USB power outlet to the Z900. You know, if you're like any of the other thousands of motorcyclists, you're quite sure you have a mobile device you'd like to keep charged. If you're like me and a bunch of other folks that have GoPros and GPS and all types of stuff, you know, you definitely want to be able to keep that stuff powered up. So ordered this directly from Kawasaki. So we'll open up the packages, see what we need to install, then we'll get to it. So the actual connector, alright, so that is the mounting bracket, and this is going to be hardware here. Give us some new bolts. Let's see what this is. And it looks like that's going to hold the connector in place. Washers look like they go in there. So it's a nice setup. It even has a little kind of rubber isolators, kind of keep the thing from rattling real crazy. So let's go ahead and put those in first. It's kind of interesting. They gave me new bolts, but I have a tail tidy on the bike, so I may have to reuse the bolts that I have. We may not be able to use those. Let's see if I can show what's going on here. So this tail tidy, that's not the normal tail tidy. I mean, not the normal fender that comes with the motorcycle. So all those bolts are different. But let's open it up and see what it looks like. Let's see what we have going on. So I just added this little plastic thing to keep my registration for this bike on here, because I have a couple jackets, and just my luck, you know, the time I get pulled over or something, I'm wearing a jacket that doesn't have the registration. So I just bought that little document holder to keep in there. So let's see, these are the bolts that the mounting locations that you're supposed to reuse with this bracket. But these are this isn't the factory setup, so your setup's gonna look totally different. You know, when I added my tail tidy, I actually didn't tighten up my bolts, so I had to stop at Home Depot mid-ride and get some hardware. So that's probably why this is gonna look different. Cool thing is the dealer that I purchased the bike with, they installed a little charger kit, so all I have to do is just pop in my trickle charger, keep the battery maintained and fresh. The bike is sitting for a while. And so lots of stuff here, but I can immediately see that The factory connection that we need is here, so we're gonna have to loosen up some of the fairing to get to it. I probably tucked it away there when I ran the wires for the tail tidy. I had to rewire my rear license plate, so I'll probably move some wires around. So let's get to that. Okay, so yeah, I can see where I'm gonna pack some of this stuff in here, and this is actually the piece that we need. You know, it's a nice little dust cover. So this, initially when you look at it, it looks like the connector needs to attach here. But you know, when I'm trying to fit it, you can see it doesn't connect that way. There's no way that will connect. That's because this whole piece is just a cover. So we're just gonna pull this whole piece off. It was a little release tab there, and so now, if you can see that piece should connect directly to our you know, factory USB. The dust cover is annoying, but yeah, connects right in. And so what I'll do is grab my phone and the charger just to test it real quick before we get everything all hooked up, just to make sure it's getting power. All right. So let's test. See if we get power when we turn on the accessory. Yep. So I just turned the key on, and as you can see, we're now charging. So turned it off and it's off. So power is good. I actually tested this pretty long cable. It's a 10-foot USB cable, because what I want to do is, if I know I'm doing like a long moto vlog, I'll just run this cable, you know, up through my jacket to my helmet cam. I may even split it off so I can power my other kind of handlebar view. But I do believe that there is another connector in the headlight assembly somewhere that I may hook up later. But I just wanted to get the easy one done. So, all right. So next, what I need to do is put the mount here, and it's probably made my life a little difficult because none of these bolts are like the standard bolts that go here. So we'll see. I may even have to get some longer ones. I don't know if the replacement ones they sent me match the nuts that I have here. I had to kind of rig this up while I was out for a ride because I didn't install it properly the first time when I replaced the original stock Fender and put this Fender Eliminator kit on. I didn't tighten it, so all the hardware just kind of fell out. So all the stuff is kind of replacement stuff. But we'll see. We'll see how quickly I can get this mounted up without too much fuss. Alright, so just like I thought, when I replaced these brackets, replace these bolts. The Fender Eliminator, it doesn't perfectly align under the bike, so you can see that little white washer, so it doesn't fit flush. So that space there is that much space I don't have at the top to actually mount this properly, so I need some longer bolts. Yeah, I just need some longer bolts essentially if I want to do the full mount, and I do want to do this properly and have it mounted nicely. So let me think about that, figure out what I need to do to mount this. It may just be getting some additional hardware. Alright, had to go grab some longer bolts. So these are still M6s, but you can see got a little bit of length, so that'll allow us to hook these things up. So let's get back to it. Alright, so we have the bracket all hooked in, got some longer bolts, and then this just slides in. Heard it click into place. And there's this little kind of wire holder there just to keep things nice and neat. And that's it. Keep all this stuff kind of buttoned back up, but pretty straightforward. If you haven't messed around with your Fender, the original hardware that came with your Fender, and just replaced it, Fender Eliminator kit, and reuse the same hardware, you won't have to go through all the stuff I just went through. It's just pretty easy swap. And yeah, it looks good. That dust cover, mount it nicely, tighten that bracket up a little bit. Yeah, good to go. Nice and clean. USB connector. Nice little battery tender connection. Yep, looks good.